My dear friend, let's get real for a moment. You're out there grinding through life, carrying burdens that weigh heavy on your soul, bills piling up, relationships testing your patience, maybe sleepless nights wondering if you're enough. You ever feel like the world's trying to break you? Like every day, someone's words, some situation, some disappointment tries to steal the fire God placed in your heart. What's your name, my friend? Where are you at right now? Are you sitting in your car, scrolling through your phone, feeling the weight of yesterday's arguments? God's looking at you, saying, I see you. I know your struggles, but I've called you to rise above, to walk in the peace I've given you. Psalm chapter 29, verse 11 proclaims that the Lord gives strength to his people and blesses them with peace. That's his promise to you today, to stand firm, unshaken, no matter what comes your way. I'm Denzel Washington, and I'm here to tell you, with God's strength, you can master your emotions, protect your peace, and walk through life untouchable. Let's talk about how to hold on to what God gave you and let no one steal your joy. Let me ask you something. How many times have you let someone's careless words ruin your entire day? How often have you let another person's negativity snatch the joy God planted in you? How many nights have you gone to bed angry, playing that same moment over and over, wishing you'd said something sharper, wishing they treated you with the respect you deserve? Listen, God's whispering to you right now, your peace is yours. Your happiness is yours. And no one has the right to take what the Creator himself gave you. But here's the raw truth: people will test you. They'll disrespect you. They'll push every button you've got. That's life. You can't control their actions, but God's given you the power to control what you let bother you. Today, I'm going to show you how to walk through this world untouchable, with a strength and peace so rooted in God's love that no one can break you down. Most folks think emotions just hit them, like a storm rolling in, unpredictable and unstoppable. But God's truth says otherwise. Emotions aren't random storms, they're responses, and you, with his guidance, can control them. Think about it. You ever see two people face the same trial? One loses their cool, the other stays calm, trusting God's plan. Someone cuts you off in traffic, one person curses, the other keeps driving, praising God for safety. The difference ain't the situation, it's the person. It's the control they've surrendered to God. When you realize you're in charge of how you feel, with God's strength guiding you, you tap into a power most never find. You stop being a puppet to circumstances and become a vessel of God's purpose. When someone disrespects you, your instinct might be to clap back, to defend your honor, to show them they can't talk to you like that. But hold up, pause, and pray. What do you gain by reacting in anger? What do you win? Nothing but a piece of your peace handed over to someone who doesn't deserve it. That person who upset you, they walk away knowing they got under your skin while you're left carrying their poison. God's saying, don't give them that power. Hold fast to my peace. Every time you react with anger, you're handing your emotions to someone else. That's not strength, my friend, that's weakness dressed up as pride. True strength, God-given strength, is in restraint. It's knowing that just because someone tries to provoke you, you don't have to take the bait. Picture this: someone's in your face, throwing insults, questioning your worth, waiting for you to snap. Now imagine looking them in the eye, smiling with God's calm, and walking away. Do you know how powerful that is? That's the strength of David facing Goliath, trusting God's might over his own. It's like a fire with no wood, it burns out fast. That's self-control rooted in God's grace. It's not about stuffing your feelings or pretending you're not hurt. It's about knowing with God's wisdom that you choose your response. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32 affirms that better is the one who controls their spirit than the one who conquers a city. That's the power God's calling you to walk in. There's a truth out there: whoever angers you controls you. If someone's words or actions can make you lose your peace, they're holding the reins, not you. And the worst part, they probably don't even care. They sleep fine while you're up, replaying the moment, letting it steal your joy. God's asking you, why are you giving them that power? You deserve better. You deserve the peace He promised. And the only way to claim it is to decide right now that no one's words, no one's disrespect will ever make you lose the anointing God placed on you. This isn't about being passive or letting folks walk over you. It's about knowing your energy is sacred, a gift from God. Imagine you've got $1,000 in your pocket and someone demands half just because they feel like it. You wouldn't hand it over, you'd protect what's yours. So why treat your peace, your God-given joy, any differently? Every time you let someone drag you into negativity, you're giving away a piece of the treasure God entrusted to you. Most folks who try to rile you up, they ain't worth it. Their opinions don't define you. Their negativity isn't your burden. Their drama is theirs, not yours. Those who master their emotions, leaning on God's strength, are the ones who win in life. They stay focused when others are distracted, making wise choices while others act on impulse. Think of the greatest leaders, men and women of faith like Moses or Esther. You don't see them sweating the small stuff. They don't have time for it. They know every moment spent on negativity is a moment stolen from God's purpose. If you want to reach your highest calling, you've got to think the same way. Stop giving emotional discounts to people who haven't earned a place in your heart. Not every situation deserves your reaction. Not every slight deserves your energy. Guard it like it's the most precious thing you own, because with God's grace it is. Your emotions are yours alone. You decide how you feel. You decide what's worth your time. You decide with God's guidance whether to let the world's chaos disrupt your inner peace. That's freedom. That's power. And it gets easier with practice. The more you pause, pray, lean on God before reacting, the stronger you become. One day you'll look back and see the things that used to shake you. The people who used to get under your skin, they've got no power over you anymore. Because you, with God's help, took it back. If you want real change, start here. Start by mastering yourself with God's wisdom. Refuse to let anyone shake the peace He's given you. When you control your emotions, you control your future. You show the world through your actions, through your faith, that you are unshakable. That's what makes you untouchable. That's what makes you powerful. That's what sets you apart. So from this moment, declare it: I control my emotions. I control my energy. And with God's strength, no one, no matter who they are or what they say, will ever take that power from me again. Most people think power is in being loud and having the last word, in making sure everyone knows how you feel. But let me tell you something straight from the heart of God's truth. Real power is in silence. It's in holding back when the world expects you to lash out. It's in knowing with God's wisdom that not every fight is worth your time, not every insult needs your comeback, not every fool deserves your attention. Silence ain't weakness, it's strength. It's not submission. It's God-given control. It shows you're so anchored in who God made you to be that you don't need to argue or defend yourself. Your actions, your faith, your results, they speak louder than words ever could. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 7 states, there's a time to be silent and a time to speak. God's calling you to know the difference. There's a reason the most powerful people in history, think of Jesus facing his accusers, stayed quiet when others expected a fight. They didn't flinch. They didn't react. They let God's purpose guide their moves. That's who you don't underestimate. When you're silent, you're unpredictable. And that, my friend, is power. If people know exactly how to push your buttons, if they can predict your every reaction, they've got you. They're pulling your strings like a puppet. But when you embrace God's stillness, when you rest in His peace, they don't know what's going on in your head. Are you mad? Are you calm? Are you planning your next move? They don't know. And that uncertainty, it's where your strength lies. Think about the last time someone tried to drag you into their mess, their negativity, their drama. What's your name, my friend? Where are you at right now? You ever been in that moment, heart racing, ready to fire back? Now imagine this, you look at them, smile with God's calm, and walk away. That's a move that shakes them. It's like David walking away from Saul's spear, trusting God's protection. People who feed on conflict need your reaction. It's their fuel. It's what gives them control. But when you give them nothing, not a word, not a flinch, not a hint you're rattled, you take their power away. You keep yours, rooted in God's grace. Silence is your weapon against nonsense. In a world where everyone's shouting, arguing, trying to prove a point, the one who stays quiet, trusting God, holds the real power. Words lose weight when they're thrown around carelessly. Everyone's talking, but who's listening? Everyone's arguing, but who's winning? When you choose silence over pointless debates, you rise above. You show your energy is too sacred, too God-given to waste on dead-end conversations. There's a time to speak, but there's also a time to hold back. Not every thought needs a voice. Not every feeling needs to be aired. Some of the greatest moments in history, like Jesus before Pilate, were shaped by silence. A look, a pause, a refusal to engage. The world has been moved not just by words, but by those who knew when to stay quiet. Sometimes the wisest thing you can say is nothing at all. Silence makes people reflect. It makes them wonder. It forces them to sit with their own words instead of feeding off yours. Folks who always have something to say, who never pause to think they're easy to manipulate. Their emotions run them. Their need to be heard makes them predictable. But the one who stays silent, who doesn't react, that person's dangerous in the best way. They're unreadable. They hold the upper hand, guided by God's wisdom, while others argue and are observing. While others lose their cool, they're planning. While others are caught in the moment, they're 5 steps ahead, trusting God's timing. Silence is discipline. It takes strength to hold your tongue when you could win an argument. It takes faith to walk away when someone's trying to provoke you. But every time you choose silence over reaction, you prove to yourself and to God that you're in control. You're not ruled by impulse. You're not owned by emotions. You move on God's terms. And there's no greater advantage in life than that. When you master yourself with His help, nothing and no one can shake you. That's the freedom God wants for you. The greatest moves are made in silence. The most powerful people don't broadcast every thought, every plan, every feeling. They move quietly, letting God guide their steps. They let their success, their faith, their results do the talking. Stop explaining yourself to people who don't matter. Stop arguing with those who don't want to understand. Stop wasting energy on folks who don't deserve your time. Let your silence, your discipline, your God-given presence be enough. So, the next time someone disrespects you, tries to bait you, expects you to snap, don't. Be still. Smile with God's peace. Walk away. In that moment, you've already won. When you make silence your strength, rooted in God's power, nothing can shake you. People will come at you with negativity, opinions, criticisms, insecurities, frustrations thrown your way like stones. Some do it on purpose, trying to dim your light. Others don't even realize they're projecting their pain because they haven't faced it themselves. But God's calling you to a higher path. You've got a choice. Will you let their words sink into your soul, shaping how you see yourself? Or will you, with God's wisdom, understand their source and let it pass through you like a breeze? The difference between those who stay unshaken and those who crumble is simple. They don't take it personally. They see the root of the negativity, but they don't let it take root in them. When someone insults you, criticizes you, tries to cut you down, your first instinct might be to fire back, to defend yourself, to carry the hurt. But hold on, step back and pray. Where's this coming from? 9 times out of 10, it's not about you. It's about them, their struggles, their pain, their doubts. People at peace with God don't go around tearing others down. Only hurt people hurt people. Only insecure folks try to make you feel small. When you see that truth, their words lose their sting. You stop carrying emotions that were never yours to hold. Imagine someone hands you a bag of garbage. You got 2 choices: carry it all day, letting it ruin your mood, or recognize it for what it is and refuse it. That's negativity. When someone dumps their bitterness, their anger, their pain on you, you don't have to take it. God's saying, let it go. My peace is yours. You can understand their hurt without making it yours. That's a choice only you, with His strength, can make. Philippians chapter 4, verse 7 confirms that God's peace, which surpasses understanding, will guard your heart and mind. That's the shield he's given you. One of the greatest gifts God offers is emotional detachment, not from love or care, but from toxic energy. It's not about being cold, it's about refusing to let someone else's storm drown your spirit. If you let every rude comment, every argument, every negative moment sink in, you'll never know peace. You'll be at the mercy of others' moods. And that ain't living, that's giving away the power God gave you. When someone criticizes you, don't just react. Pray. Ask yourself, is this truth or is it their baggage? Is it constructive or just a jab to bring you down? If it's truth, learn from it with God's guidance. If it's just negativity, let it go. Why let their opinion of you become your truth? Not everyone deserves a response. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Some things God calls you to ignore, to brush off like dust. Think of a mountain. Storms come, winds howl, rains pour, but the mountain stands firm. That's you, rooted in God's strength. Let negativity flow around you like water. You're not responsible for their emotions, their pain. You can understand it, but don't make it yours. That's the freedom God wants for you. Those who absorb everything, every word, every slight end up drained, weighed down by burdens they were never meant to carry. But those who understand without absorbing, they move lighter. They don't hold grudges or cling to petty drama. They choose God's peace every time. And that makes them unstoppable. This isn't about being numb. It's about being selective. Some feedback helps you grow, but anything rooted in jealousy or hatred, that's not yours to carry. Let it pass. Let it roll off like rain off a roof. When you stop absorbing negativity, when you refuse to let it become your reality, you become untouchable. You become free. So the next time someone tries to bring you down, don't react. Observe. Understand their pain, but don't take it on. Their negativity is theirs, not yours. You're here to rise, to grow, to protect the energy God gave you at all costs. With His strength, nothing can break you. Your peace is your power. It's the foundation God built for your clarity, your focus, your strength. Without it, you're vulnerable, easily shaken, easily distracted, easily controlled. But when you guard your peace like the treasure it is, nothing can touch you. No person, no circumstance, no negativity can disrupt what God's built inside you. Peace ain't given, it's created, protected, fought for. And if you don't fight for it, the world will steal it every single day. People will test you, pulling you into their chaos, their stress, their drama. They'll try to drag you into arguments that don't matter, conflicts that drain you. But God's calling you to choose, engage, or walk away, absorb or let go. Fight pointless battles or rise above. The choice is yours. It's not personal, it's just what they do. Someone who's always stressed, always negative, always looking for a fight they can't stand, your calm, your God-given control. It unsettles them because your peace reflects what they lack. Instead of fixing their heart, they'll try to shake yours. But when you take their bait, when you let them pull you into their mess, they win. They steal your peace. And if you let enough people do that, you'll have nothing left. Guard your peace like it's sacred, because it is. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Not every conversation deserves your attention. Not every argument deserves your voice. The more you entertain negativity, the more it becomes your reality. The more you let others' problems drag you down, the more drained you get. For what? To prove a point. To defend yourself to someone who doesn't matter. That's not power, that's wasted energy. Real power is knowing when to walk away, trusting God's plan. Imagine you're a king or queen on your throne. Outside, people are shouting, arguing, throwing insults, trying to pull you down. You could step off your throne and argue, but that lowers you to their level. Or you could stay seated, unmoved, unshaken, rooted in God's peace. A ruler doesn't argue with every voice in the crowd. A queen doesn't let outside noise dictate her inner calm. That's how you live. Don't lower yourself to meet negativity, rise above it with God's strength. John chapter 16, verse 33 declares that in Christ, you have peace, though the world brings trouble. Hold fast to that promise. Protecting your peace means saying no to drama, no to toxic conversations, No to people who drain you instead of lift you up. Be selective with your time, your energy, your heart. Not every issue deserves space in your soul. Everything you engage with either adds to your peace or takes it away. If it's not serving you, if it's not helping you grow, let it go. Distance yourself, move in silence, protect what God gave you. People will talk, misunderstand, criticize, create their own version of you. Let them. Their perception ain't your responsibility. Their opinion doesn't define you. Living for approval steals your peace. It can't coexist with God's validation. Choose peace over approval, clarity over chaos, power over petness. The day you stop explaining yourself, stop proving yourself, stop giving energy to what doesn't matter, that's the day you become untouchable. This ain't about avoiding conflict or pretending problems don't exist. It's about choosing your battles wisely with God's wisdom. Some fights aren't worth your time. Some things resolve themselves. Some arguments never lead anywhere. Wisdom is knowing what deserves your energy and what doesn't. Peace is focusing on what matters and letting go of the rest. Attachment to people, opinions, situations that don't serve you is the greatest threat to your peace. The more attached you are, the more control they have. Detached from stress, from unworthy battles, from negativity. The more you let go, the lighter you become. The freer you are to focus on your growth, your coast, your God-given calling. Protect your peace like your life depends on it, because it does. It's your anchor, your foundation, what lets you move through life with clarity, confidence, and control. When you master protecting it, trusting God's plan, you step into a power most never reach. A person at peace, unmoved by negativity, unshaken by chaos, that person is unstoppable. Distractions are everywhere. Every day the world throws something at you to pull you off track, negativity from others. Self-doubt creeping in. The temptation to coast. What's your name, my friend? What's pulling at you right now? You ever feel like you're fighting to keep your eyes on the prize? If you let distractions win, you'll look back one day and see time you can't get back. Time is your most precious gift from God. Once it's gone, it's gone. Staying focused on your purpose isn't just an option, it's a must. Most don't fail because they lack talent or ability. They fail because they lose focus. They start strong, full of fire, but get sidetracked by outside voices, setbacks, or fear whispering they're not enough. Before they know it, their dreams, daydreams, ideas never turned into reality. Why? Because they let distractions steal their God-given destiny. That ain't your story. You don't have to live with regret. You can choose right now to lock in, block out the noise, and commit to the purpose God placed in you. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5 affirms that before you were formed, God knew you and set you apart for a purpose. It's not for everyone to understand. Not everyone will support you or see your vision. That's okay, it's yours, not theirs. Too many waste energy explaining their dreams instead of working on them, trying to convince folks who'll never get it. Success is your explanation. When you win, when you make it, that's your proof. Stop seeking validation. Stop waiting for applause. Stay focused and let your results, guided by God, do the talking. Discipline is the backbone of focus. Motivation fades. Some days you'll feel unstoppable, others you'll feel beat down. But winners show up anyway. They work when they don't feel like it. Push through when it's hard. Remind themselves why they started, trusting God's plan. You can't wait to feel ready. Build discipline to stay committed, no matter how you feel. Feelings pass, but your purpose, God's purpose for you, is eternal. Obstacles will come. Failures will happen. You'll question everything. That's the journey. Every great leader, every hero of faith faced setbacks, but they didn't let failure define them. They used it as a setup for a comeback, trusting God's timing. When things go wrong, don't quit. Adjust. Learn. Grow. Never lose focus. The only real failure is giving up. As long as you keep moving, you're still in the game. People will try to derail you, some on purpose, because your success reminds them of their inaction. Others, without realizing, dragging you into drama or opinions that add nothing. The biggest distraction. Your own mind, fear, doubt, insecurity. They'll tell you you're not ready, not capable. That's a lie. You're more than ready, more than capable with God's strength. Don't slow down. While you hesitate, someone else is working, getting ahead. Stay hungry. Stop chasing everything, master one thing. Real success comes from focus, from going all in on what God called you to do. Pick your path, commit, dominate. Your purpose is your responsibility. No one's going to hand you success. Put in the work when no one's watching. Stay committed when no one's cheering. It's your life, your future, your God-given destiny. How bad do you want it? Are you willing to sacrifice, to block out distractions, to stay focused no matter what? If you are, nothing can stop you. There's greatness in you, a purpose God placed for a reason. It's yours to claim if you refuse to let the world shake you, if you stay locked in, if you refuse to settle. Lock in. Get disciplined. Don't stop until you reach the success God destined for you. The only way you lose is if you quit. Holding on to pain, anger, resentment, it's like carrying a heavy load while trying to run the race God set before you. You can't move fast, you can't climb high, you can't reach the fullness of His plan. That weight slows you down, drains you, keeps you stuck in a past that no longer serves you. But when you let go, when you release what's weighing you down, you step into the freedom God promised. Letting go ain't weakness, it's strength. It's choosing God's peace over pride, refusing to let yesterday's pain steal today's joy. Too many cling to grudges, mistakes, toxic relationships, failures that replay in their minds, wondering why they're drained, stuck in cycles of frustration. They're not stuck because of life, they're stuck because they're holding on to what God's telling them to release. You can't grab new blessings with clenched fists. You can't embrace the future God has for you if you're gripping the past. Life moves forward. It doesn't pause for you to dwell on what happened. Time keeps going, and the longer you hold on, the more you rob yourself of the present God's given you. Some spend their lives trapped in memories of what could have been instead of living in what is. That ain't you. You don't have to be a prisoner of your past. You can choose with God's strength to let go. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or saying it didn't matter. It means refusing to let it control you. Acknowledge the pain, the betrayal, but release it. When you hold on to negativity, it owns you, your mood, your energy, your peace. But when you say, God, I'm giving this to you, you take your power back. You regain control of your life. Sometimes the hardest thing to let go of is people, those you loved, trusted, who were once part of your story but no longer fit where God's taking you. It hurts to walk away, to accept some relationships were for a season. But keeping someone out of attachment instead of alignment leads to suffering. Not everyone's meant to walk your journey. Some were lessons, not lifelong companions. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you break free from toxic cycles. Letting go is an act of faith that God's got something better ahead, that every loss, every ending is part of His plan. You can't see new doors if you're staring at closed ones. Trust His process. Letting go stops feeling like losing and starts feeling like winning. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 18 urges you to forget the former things and look to the new things God is doing. Letting go ain't a one-time event, it's a daily choice. Choose to release what doesn't serve you, to stop replaying old wounds, to stop giving energy to what drains you. Say, I deserve God's peace. I deserve His joy. Every time bitterness creeps in, remind yourself, I'm choosing His peace. Every time anger tempts you, declare, I'm letting this go for my good. Some wait for closure, for an apology, for validation. But you don't need someone else's permission to heal. Closure is what you create with God's help. If you wait for others, you might wait forever while they move on, unbothered. Stop holding your peace hostage to their actions. Choose freedom. Holding on to pain doesn't hurt them, it hurts you. It poisons your happiness. Letting go is about you deciding your peace is worth more than your past, your future more than your resentment. You release the weight. Drop the baggage. Free yourself. When you truly let go, you truly begin to live. There'll come a time when you're tested, someone disrespects you, betrays your trust, tries to make you feel small. In that moment, you've got a choice: react with anger, bitterness, revenge, or rise above with God's grace. Being the bigger person ain't about letting folks walk over you. It's about strength, about self-control, about refusing to let anyone pull you out of the character God's building in you. Real power comes from restraint. It's easy to lash out, to match negativity with negativity. But what takes discipline, wisdom, strength? God's strength is walking away, choosing peace over pettiness. The moment you stoop to their level, they win. They've got control. Don't let their bitterness, their drama, pull you out of God's purpose. Protect your energy, your dignity, your peace. James chapter 1 verse 19 advises to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. That's God's call to you. Being the bigger person means knowing not every battle's worth fighting. Some folks want a reaction, not a solution. They want you angry out of character because it makes them feel powerful. But when you stay calm, composed, unshaken, you show their words, their actions mean nothing compared to God's truth about you. You're too focused, too disciplined, too rooted in His love to entertain foolishness. Some of you are carrying grudges, replaying moments, wasting energy on people who don't deserve a second thought. That gives you stress, anxiety, sleepless nights, not peace, not joy. Let it go, not for them, but for you. Holding on to negativity is like drinking poison, expecting them to suffer. They're not hurting, you are. Rise above it with God's help. Some people will never change, never apologize. If you're waiting for closure, you might wait forever. Move forward without validation. Being the bigger person means choosing peace even when you're right, choosing growth even when they don't deserve forgiveness, choosing your future over their drama. Holding on to the past doesn't heal you, letting go does. Respond with grace, not because they deserve it, but because you know your worth. You know your value enough to walk away from toxic arguments, from battles not worth fighting. Choose wisdom over ego, strength over pride, growth over grudges. Every second on negativity is a second stolen from building, growing, elevating. Life's too short to waste on people who don't deserve your response. Some want to see you fail, get joy from your anger, would rather see you miserable than thriving. The best revenge, success, not arguing, not clapping back, just winning, shining, elevating. When you stay focused on God's purpose, nothing can bring you down. You can't control what people say or do, but you can control your response. That's your power, your strength, what separates those who stay stuck from those who rise. I know that small people pull you into small battles. Stay above it. Be the bigger person, not for them, but for you. When you choose peace over pride, you win. Your environment shapes you more than you know. The people you talk to, the conversations you entertain, the energy you let in, it all impacts you. You might think you're strong enough for negativity, but over time it seeps in, shifts your mindset, drains your spirit. Be intentional about surrounding yourself with positivity. It's like guarding your soul with God's light. The wrong people, the wrong energy can destroy your peace, your confidence, your dreams. But the right people, the right energy, they lift you, push you, remind you of God's call when you forget. Who's around you, my friend? What's the energy they bring? Do they inspire you, challenge you to grow, or drag you into complaints, gossip, drama? You become what you surround yourself with. If you're around doubt, fear, excuses, you'll start thinking that way. But around those who are driven, focused, growing in God's purpose, you'll rise with them. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14 warns against being yoked with unbelievers, urging you to align with those who share God's light. You can't keep people in your life just because of history. Some thrive in negativity, live in excuses, and if you let them, they'll pull you into their storm. They'll make you think small, doubt yourself, settle for less than God's plan. But around positivity, people who believe in growth, possibility, God's greatness, you'll see the world differently. You'll dream bigger, believe more, realize your potential has no limits except those you accept. Positivity ain't just about people, it's what you consume, books, shows, social media. Everything you let in either helps or hurts you. Are you feeding your mind drama, fear, doubt, or inspiration, education, God's truth? To change your life, change what you feed your soul. Fill it with what reminds you of your God-given power, your strength, your limitless calling. Some will say your dreams are too big, tell you to be realistic, plant doubt. Their limits ain't yours. Their fear ain't your reality. Don't argue with doubters, just move, build, win with God's guidance. Positivity doesn't mean no challenges, but it means having the right energy to keep going. Even on bad days, you've got people who remind you of your strength, push you forward, challenge you to rise. That's priceless. If someone brings negativity, distance yourself. If your social media is toxic, unfollow. If your habits keep you stressed, change them. Your peace, your growth, your success depend on the energy you allow. You don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your space. You deserve people who see the best in you. Encourage your dreams. Speak life into your calling. If you don't have them, seek them out. Read books that expand your mind. Listen to voices that inspire action. Follow those living the life God's calling you to. When you surround yourself with positivity, you're reminded you're capable, worthy, unstoppable. Your energy is your most valuable asset. The world will try to drain it, dim your light. But you've got the power to choose. Build an environment that fuels your growth, not stunts it. With God's help, keep rising, building, winning. Your mind is your greatest tool, but it needs sharpening, strengthening, conditioning every day by God's truth. You don't build a strong body with one gym session, you need consistency. Your mind's the same. If you don't train it, it'll grow weak, swayed by negativity. But when you train it daily on God's wisdom, you unlock power that makes you unshakable. Every day you're training your mind, whether you know it or not. What are you training it for? Discipline or distraction? Growth or excuses? Strength or weakness? Every choice, every thought, every habit builds you up or tears you down. Wake up and check your phone, filling your mind with gossip and negativity. You're training it to react, not lead. But start your day with intention, prayer, gratitude, God's word, movement. You're building a mind that's focused, disciplined, rooted in His purpose. Romans chapter 12, verse 2 urges you to renew your mind to discern God's will. That's your daily call. Training your mind ain't about fleeting motivation, it's about habit. Conditioning yourself to think God's way. Challenge limiting beliefs. Break free from doubt and fear. If you don't control your mind, the will, filling it with distractions, reasons you can't, instead of God's truth that you can. Protect your mind like your future depends on it, because it does. What you feed, it grows. Feed it doubt, and doubt multiplies. Feed it God's promises, knowledge, possibility, and you'll elevate. Think like a leader. Move like someone unstoppable. This ain't a one-time thing, it's daily. Every day your mind gets stronger or weaker. You're programming it for success or failure. Mental training is about resilience, staying focused when plans fail, disciplined when you're tired, pushing forward through obstacles. Life will test you. Doubt will creep in. Fear will try to take over. But if you've trained your mind, built perseverance, focus on God's solutions, you won't break. You'll adapt, push through, win. The strongest minds prepare for battle before it comes. They don't wait for trouble, they train daily, sharpen their focus, reinforce their faith. Read books that challenge you. Listen to voices that inspire action. Step out of your comfort zone. Control your thoughts, shift your perspective, seek God's solutions over problems. Most let their minds run on autopilot, controlled by fear, doubt, circumstances. But you're different. You take control, train daily, build a mindset to conquer anything with God's strength. Start with small disciplines, prayer, gratitude, speaking life into yourself. Refuse negativity. Challenge excuses. Your mind's listening, make it your greatest weapon. Don't wait for the right moment. Start now when it's hard, when it's inconvenient. Discipline's built in struggle, not comfort. The more you push, the stronger you get. The greatest leaders, the greatest minds, they train daily, stayed relentless. Everything starts in the mind. Your success, growth, happiness. You control what you allow and what you focus on, what thoughts you entertain. Take it seriously. Train daily. Stay focused. When you master your mind with God's help, you master your life. Ladies and gentlemen, hear me now. Everything we've talked about comes down to this: you are in control. With God's strength, you command your emotions, your mindset, your focus, your peace. No one can take that unless you let them. The world will test you. People will try to shake you. Life will throw challenges. But when you train your mind daily, surround yourself with God's positivity. Let go of what doesn't serve you. Protect your peace. Stay locked in on your purpose. Nothing can break you. Nothing can stop you. Being the bigger person ain't about weakness. It's refusing to let negativity poison your spirit. It's choosing God's strength over reaction. Walking away from battles that don't matter, knowing your energy's too sacred to waste. Your time, your peace, your life too precious for drama, distractions, negativity. Elevate your thinking. Elevate your circle. Elevate your faith. The things that used to shake you, they'll lose their power. The anger that used to consume you, it'll fade. You'll move on a higher frequency, focused, disciplined, unshakable in God's purpose. Every day you choose, let negativity control you or rise above it. Let distractions derail you or stay locked in. Let others' words define you or stand firm in who God says you are. Choose wisely, choose peace, strength, focus, faith. That's how you step into greatness. That's how you live a life where no one can steal your joy, a life of confidence, purpose, power. So my friend, what's your name? What's holding you back today? Drop amen. In the comments, declare God's truth over your life. Claim His victory for your journey. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe, hit that like button. Let's build a community of warriors walking in God's peace. Protect your peace. Train your mind. Let go of what hurts you. Never let anyone pull you out of character. You are in control. You are strong. You are unstoppable. Thank you. Stay blessed. And may you rise higher every single day, walking boldly in the purpose God's given you. God bless you.